All right, welcome back to part 3 of our playthrough of Ker Nethalas into the Midnight Throne. So we left off with our hero in a room filled with bones where we found a relic. And it was a potion of Forgotten Fate, which lets us erase a mastery and choose a new one. So we are actually going to drink that potion. We are going to drink the potion of Forgotten Fate, the dark black viscous liquid. And we are going to change our Duskblade mastery. So that wasn't diving too well with our rigid leather armor that covers our chest. So we are going to forget that. And we are going to take the Mindbender ability. So we are going to take the Mindbender mastery. You have learned to warm your magic into your target's mind, subtly influencing their actions to your favor, or directly taking complete control over them. So the passive ability is enemies attacking you always suffer -10 to their combat skill. So we're going to become a Mindbinder. Passive ability, -10 to attacking skill. So we'll put -10 combat for enemies. And our tier 1 ability is called Suppress Mind. It's a free action. It costs 5 Aether. And the target cannot cast any spells until the next round. So we'll do Suppress Mind. Suppress Mind. Cost 5. No spells. 1 round. All right, so now that we've drinking that, we can take a look at the dungeon. All right, so we are down here in this room. We've traveled through all the doors that are open, so we just have locked doors right now that we can go through. We don't have any thieves tools, so we'll have to try to bash down this locked door. That's gonna make us do, Emelyn will have to do a tension roll, so she's gonna put her shoulder into the door. And then that is an athletics check. Her athletics is 10. We will roll that up and we will see what happens. So first bash against the door. 99. That is this would be a fumble, but there's fumbles are only in combat right now. Lucky for us. But that is not successful. So we have to do a tension roll. Our tension is back to a D8. We already had one darkness event occur where some bats attacked us and we took 1 damage. So tension dies back up to a D8. If we roll a 1 or a 2, it'll go down to a D6 and then to a D4 if we roll a 1 or a 2 again. And once you get to a D4, you hit a 1 or a 2, you get a darkness. So, oh, of course, we got a 1. All right, so our tension dies down to a D6. Not a great start. She will ram her shoulder into the door again. So you get plus 20 for every attempt. So now we need a 30 or less. And we got a 23. All right. Good job. Emelyn crashes through the door. We roll up the room. 24. Let's see. 24. This looks like it's a corridor. I think 24 is a corridor. So it looks like we have a long winding passage. So we will get that drawn up here. We just no, a corridor is 1 through 20, so that's technically considered a room, even though it looks like a corridor. But we will have that kind of a reverse S shaped corridor. That just gonna come around down here. All right, and that is 24. All right, let's check the book real quick and see for the description. But before we do that, I just want to make sure is a corridor really 1 through. Okay, 1 through 25 is a corridor, so it is a corridor. So let's see our flavor text corridor description. 15. The walls of this tunnel bear scorch marks, evidence of past fire or magical explosion. The air carries a faint smell of burnt wood and stone. All right, so we will step into the corridor, and then we will make a corridor check, or actually a tension check. So a D6 for a tension check. 5, we're okay. And then we'll make a lair check to see if we're getting closer to the overseer. We are not. And then we'll do an encounter check. So there is an encounter in a corridor if there's a 15 or higher. A 4, so there will be an event. All right, so let's go to the event table. That is a D100 roll, and let's see what event we run into in here. That is 17. There's something of value here. Roll on the spoils table. Okay, fantastic. Let's see. Spoils D6. A 5. Roll on the valuable items table. Valuable items is a D20. 18 is a magic item. So let's go to the magical item table. We don't have any attunement crystals, so we found a pair of boots earlier that's magical. We don't know what they do yet. So clearly another adventurer has been through here with the magical stuff, but we don't have any way to tell what it is. Okay, magical item. Find a magical item table. All right, magic item generation. So the only thing we are going to do is roll the D8, and then we will see what we get. It is a weapon. Roll on the random weapon table on page 204. Random weapon is a D100. A 100. So 100 is magic weapon. So what happens when you get magic weapon and it's a magic weapon? Hold on. Does it say? I guess maybe we re-roll since we already know it's a magic weapon. Yeah, let's just re-roll. 54. A longsword. All right, so we'll add that to our gear. We got a magic longsword, and we don't know what it does. Let's see. So you can hold 10 items. We'll strap this magic longsword to our back. Magic longsword. And we'll put a question mark on there. And then on the weapons table, I think long swords. Does it say what their qualities are? The long sword is a bladed weapon. It has parrying and versatile. Parrying, versatile. And do we have any skill in bladed weapons? We do have a 40 in bladed weapons, so it could be a good backup weapon for us. Versatile means it can be wielded with 2 hands, and if you hold 2 hands, it gets +1 damage. And parrying, +10 combat skills on our defensive roll if we decided to use it for that. But for now, without any attunement crystals, This seems like it's a regular sword. We can tell there's something special about it. We won't get to roll that up until afterwards. Okay, so we found a magic sword in this room. Now let's see if this door is locked at the end of the corridor. If it is 12 or higher, it's closed. 18, so it is also locked. This is troubling. So we don't remove a light source for a corridor, only for rooms. We're gonna have to try to break this door down again. Our athletics is only 10. Let's try to break it down. 73, that's a fail. That means we have to do a tension check. We're fine. It goes up by 20. We'll try to break it down again. This time we need a 30 or less. 84, that's a fail. We do another tension check. We're fine. Now we're at 50. We'll ram the door again. 36. Fantastic. The door is unlocked. We still have to do a tension check. A 1, so we are down to a D4. So we're making a lot of noise as we go into the next room. Let's roll, see what room we get. That is an 8, which will be another corridor. 8. See here. Okay, it's a empty square, so this is gonna come out like this, go up, up. Okay, so we have another corridor. And we will roll for our corridor description. And then we'll do our tension check. Corridor description. That is, oh, that's just a D20. 7. The narrow stone hall twists and turns, disappearing in the darkness. This hall seems to have a slight downwards inclination, and it feels worn and slippery. Okay, so we are, that's the room layout right there. Down here in the corner. We are going to be kind of like heading over to a separate part of the dungeon. We'll just use 2 papers if it starts to extend out this way. All right. Now we have to do a new corridor, so we have to do a tension check. We don't have to do a light source because it's still just a corridor. And that is a 1, which is unfortunate. So our tension die has gotten all the way down to the bottom relatively quickly. So now it's going to go back up to a D8. And then we have to make a darkness roll. All right, so tension and darkness roll. 106. Last time it was a flood of bats. Hopefully this time it's nothing too bad. D100. Let's see what we get. 57. Confusion suddenly fills your mind and you have trouble remembering your actions these last few days. Reduce a skill of your choosing by 10. Yikes, that's the second time that we had some kind of mental issue. So our stealth is 30. We don't use it that much. Let's reduce the stealth by 10. So we will say 20. And then in a note, let's just go to our note. We had our second dark was confusion. Reduced stealth by 10. As we have forgotten how to be sneaky. Okay, that could have been worse. That could have been worse. Okay, so now we did the tension die check, so let's do the layer check, see if we're getting any closer to the overseer. The overseer that rules this domain, which we haven't mentioned in a while, is an Infernal Archon. So all monsters in this domain have piercing and ignore 1 armor. I only have armor on my chest, and I haven't actually been hit in the chest yet through this whole mission. Oh, okay. So our lair check has finally gone down. So it's down from a D12 to a D10. So we are getting a little bit closer to the overseer. All right, now it's time to see if there's an encounter in this corridor. On a 15 or higher, there is an encounter. That is a 6, so we have an event. Let's see what event we have. It's going to be a D100 roll. We didn't. I should write down the event page number. Combat, companions, exploring. Room descriptions. Here we go. Events. All right, D100. Let's see, what are we up against? 62. A furious specter appears in front of you, cursing you in the ancient Valorian tongue. Make a resolve check. If you pass, you earn 10 XP as you learn from this harrowing experience. If you fail, you lose 1 sanity and gain 1 exhaustion. All right, so resolve check for us. Our resolve is 20. We fail, we lose the sanity. We go from 12 to 11. And our exhaustion goes from 1 to 2. And exhaustion doesn't have a physical effect until you get to 10, so we're okay for now. All right, that's the event. Back to the map. Okay, now let's check and see if this door is locked. 12 or higher, the door is closed. The door is closed. Oh, and that reminds me, I'm supposed to be checking for traps. So this door that we broke down, we'll go back real quick. Let's roll and see if there was a trap on that door. So 7 or higher, there's a trap. A 9. So there was a trap on this door. And I know we're going backwards, but let's see what that trap was. Because who knows, we might be dead and just dreamt everything that just occurred. Traps. Okay. We get to perform a perception check to see if we see it. So our perception is 50. Let's see if we see the trap. 91, we do not, or that's 61. We don't see it. So we trigger the trap. It's a D10. And again, this is back in this previous room. The first door that we broke down was trapped. So checking that one out. A 9. An alarm of some sort, mechanical, magical, or other, attracts the attention of one of the place's inhabitants. Roll on the appropriate combat encounter table. We can make a dodge roll to avoid that. So let's see, dodge. Our dodge is 15, so we're probably not going to avoid it. 32. Nope, we don't. So we're going to have an encounter back here. But first, let's check this door, if this door was trapped or not. It was not trapped. And then we just rolled for the room we're in to see if it's closed. It was closed. Let's see if it's trapped. It is trapped. All right. So we are going to backtrack to this room, do the encounter, and then we will, whatever, the same thing happens until we get here. And there's another trap. In the trap in this room is also an alarm. So there's an alarm here. There's an alarm back here. So let's backtrack back to this room. We have to roll on the combat encounter table. And let's see if we actually survive to make it forward. Okay. some type of magical sigil has alerted some nearby creatures, and we will roll and see what encounter we get. 5 is table B. D20 is an 8. Reanimated Homunculus. That seems bad, so we'll just put RA. Reanimated Homunculus. What is that? These creatures are a twisted amalgamation of necromantic art and dark alchemy, the most sacred arts in Valorian society. Its form is a grotesque mockery of life, with stitched together limbs and patchwork flesh, giving it an unsettling and unnatural appearance, and its body emits an aura of a necrotic energy, crackling with the volatile essence that animates it. Reanimated homunculi are highly unstable, their necromantic essence making it unpredictable and potentially explosive. In combat, they don't really pose a serious threat due to their slow and clumsy movements. It is only when they appear to freeze that running becomes the wise choice, as an explosion is sure to follow, obliterating both the homunculus and anyone in its vicinity. Right, it's an undead, so that means necrotic restores it, and it has some other resistances. Yeah, necrotic restores it. It's immune. Hold on, let me find undead again. Undead traits. Let me go to the cheat sheet. Let's see. Creature traits. Undead. Immune to charm, poison, and disease. Restored by necrotic. Vulnerable to holy damage. I don't have any holy damage. It's one of them. Awareness 40, endurance 50, 6 health. It's got armor on its chest. It's humanoid. Combat skill is only 20, which its combat skill will be 10 because of my Mindbender ability. Okay. Let's begin. So we will roll for initiative. So my perception is 50 and his awareness is 40. So they got an 80, which is a fail. I got a 2, that's a success. So I will get to go first. Since I won initiative on the first round, if you win initiative, I believe you get plus 20, which I haven't been doing in the previous playthroughs. Yeah, the first attack gets plus 20. So that'll take me up to 80. Your skill can't go above 80 unless you have some other magical means to increase it. So bludgeoning weapons, I need an 80, and it gets a minus 10. So it gets a 10. All right, so I got a 56. I got a 96. The fail for it, hit for me. We'll roll damage and hit location. A 1 and a 2. So hit location, humanoid. So I hit it in the right leg. A 2 on the damage chart is 1 damage. The Morning Star is powerful, so I do 2 damage to it. It goes from 6 life down to 4. As I crash into the leg with my Morning Star to try to fill this Frankenstein type monster. All right, now let's see what he is going to do on his turn. Slam, it's a physical attack. The reanimated homunculus staggers forward, attempting to slam a target with its stitched together limbs. It makes a melee attack, dealing D4 bludgeoning damage on a hit. All right, so it is going to try to hit me. It needs a 10, and it needs a 20 because it gets plus 10, and I need a 60. 74 is a fail, and 70 is a fail for me as well. So I do manage to dodge because my skill is higher. And then I will attack it again with the Morning Star. 64 for me, I need a 70, that's a hit. 97 from it is a fail. Damage at hit location. 14 and a 4. 14 on a humanoid. I hit it in the left arm. She swings the Morning Star around. A 4 does 1 damage, so it takes 2 more damage. It's down to 2 life. And then it is going to attack us. Let's see what it does. 6. Oh, unstable detonation. This isn't good. The reanimated homunculus suddenly freezes in place, its necromantic essence becoming increasingly volatile. At the start of its next turn, the reanimated homunculus explodes in a burst of necrotic energy. All creatures within the room must succeed on a dodge check or take 2d10 necrotic damage, half on a success check. And the reanimated homunculus is destroyed in the process, so it's going to explode next turn. All right, and I could try to dodge. My dodge is only 15 because of the rigid leather armor. So we are just going to try to kill it. We need to try to kill it before it explodes. So we're going to attack. We need a 70. It needs a 10. We got a 37. That's a hit. We got a 50. No, we got a 58. That's still a hit. It got a 37. That is a fail. We'll roll damage and hit location. Got 2 life. And that is not going to be enough damage. So a 1 on the damage table is 0. So I'll just do 1 damage to it. A 12. I hit it in the chest. The chest is the one spot where it has armor. So it takes no damage. And then it explodes. So I can try to dodge. So Emelyn is going to try to dodge out of the way. She hits it in the chest. The Morning Star gets stuck in its chest plate. She has to pull it out. She sees the necrotic energy of the creature pulsating, and then it explodes. I'd have to get a 15 to get out the way. And I rolled 100, which is a fumble. Oh no. That's doubles, so that's a fumble. And I'm in combat, so I think I have to roll on the fumble table. I think. Do I? Because I'm dodging? Let's see. You drop your weapon, you hold your weapon. No, these look like they're attacks. Yeah, these look like they're attacks. I don't think I have to roll a fumble for this. Let me know in the comments if you guys disagree. I don't think I have to roll a fumble for doing this dodge reaction. I think it's only if I'm attacking or defending that I have to do this. But either way, I failed to dodge, so I'm going to take 2d10 necrotic. So we'll roll their 2d10s and compare that to the damage table. So that is a 4 and a 9. And then we'll do hit location 14. So 14 on a humanoid left arm. All right. So I don't have any armor covering this. The 4 does 1 damage and the 9 does 3. So I take 4 damage to my toughness and the homunculus is destroyed. All right. So I take 4 damage to my toughness. That takes me from 18 down to 14. I do get, because of my Abyssal Reaver, 1 temp toughness per encounter. So let's see how much I heal after this fight. I'll get 40 XP. And let's see. I heal for 3, so I'll heal for a total of 4. So basically, I'll get it back from 14 to 18. And let's see what the homunculus has for its treasure, if anything. Roll on the spoils table. So we'll get a d6. We'll roll on the spoils table. A 5. 5 is roll on the valuable items table. Valuable items is a d20. A 4 is a random potion. All right, so we will roll on the potion table. Random potion, page 203. Let's see what happens when we find a potion. Okay, so we find a potion. I don't think I get to know what it is unless I pass a medicine check. So let me try to confirm that that's the case. Potions, page 111. Or I can drink it. The lawyer in ascendancy, when you find a potion, you must make a medicine check to learn its effects. If you fail, your only chance is to try the potion and see what happens. Okay, so medicine check. My medicine is 20. Let's see if we get lucky. 66. That would be a. That would also be a fumble because it's doubles. But that's only in combat. So I don't know what it is. So I'm just gonna write potion in my gear list with a question mark. So we'll have to drink it to find out what it is. So we'll save that for desperate times and desperate measures. Okay, so far so good. So we rolled on the spoils table. That handles the alarm for this section, okay? So now we'll fast forward, go back down here. Oh, and I forgot to scavenge too. So while we're backtracking, let's see if we pass a scavenge check in the previous room. As I mentioned before, you know, it's not a rules channel. There's a lot of procedures to remember, but we're doing our best. So 31, our scavenge is 30, so we didn't find anything in here. Now, back to where we were. So we are back in our main room. So we backtracked in time to go back here because this door was locked and trapped and there was an alarm. This door is also locked and trapped and there is an alarm. So let me try to make a perception test to see if we notice the alarm. Traps, page 104. So if we spot it before triggering it, we can try to disarm it. We don't have any of these tools, so there's no reason for us to roll, just try to spot it. So we did get an alarm. Now we can try to pass a dodge test to avoid another encounter. So our dodge, I think, is only 15 because of our rigid leather armor. Yep, so we need a 15 or less. Nope, we did not. So there's another encounter in this room. Magical alarm. The magical alarm woke up the homunculus. Let's see if it what it wakes up in this room. So 5 is table B. 16. 16 is Vinekin. So there is a Vinekin. There's a Vinekin in this corridor. We'll see what we can do about that. So what's a Vinekin? It is unclear what the Vinekin, a plant-like humanoid species, is doing in Ker Nethalas. Their forms are a nightmarish tangle of writhing vines and thorny brambles that somehow form the outline of a humanoid shape. The Vinekin wield dark and chaotic powers, able to manipulate the corrupted plant life to ensnare and entrap their prey. They can summon tendrils and thorns to tear apart their enemies, but they seem to prefer direct physical combat. Many attempts at communicating with them have been made, but unfortunately, they seem to be only interested in violence. So it's a plant humanoid. There's one of them, 40 awareness, 5 life. It's got 1 armor on all body parts. Its head is its weak spot. Its combat skill is 30, which will really be a 20. Right, so it's got 5 life and armor on each body part. And we're gonna have to try to take this thing down. Right. So let's go ahead and roll initiative. My perception is 50. Its perception is awareness is 40. So it got a 65, which is a fail. I got a 5, which is a success. So I'll go first. So I'll get plus 20. So I'll have an 80 versus its 20. And let's see. Do I want to do Infernal Flame and ignore armor? Its magic resistance is only 30. Yeah, I think let's do that. Let's spend 4 Aether. So your Aether resets after every combat. So mine's is back up to 10 now. We go down to 6. Emelyn's fist will light up with her Infernal Flame, and she'll do her Flaming Fist attack on the plant. If it rolls less than 30, it magically resists. 84, it does not resist, so we get a d6 plus a d4 damage. Let's see what we do. A 6 and a 3, ignore armor. Let's check the hit location. 1, that's in the leg. So 6 does, let's see. 6 does 2 damage, 3 does 1. So it takes 3 damage from the Flaming Fist attack. That'll take it down to 2 life. Not bad. Let's see what the Vine does in response. Entangling Roots. Magical attack. The Vine summons twisted roots from the ground to ensnare all creatures within the room. Each creature in the area must succeed on a dodge check or be entangled. Alright, so this is a magical attack. And I wonder, since it says magical, can I do a magic resistance roll? When you attack a creature with a magic ability that can usually attempt to resist it by passing a magic resistance check. I think my magic resistance is only 20. It's not really going to make that much of a difference. I think that's another question for the community. If you guys know, when it says magical, do I get to make a magic resistance roll first? And then if I fail the magical resistance roll, I do the dodge check? I feel like that makes sense to me. Otherwise, why have the stat? I haven't used it that much. So yeah, let's do a magical resistance roll. If I'm wrong about that, we'll make it. We'll find out later. So my magic resistance is 20. So I have to get a 20 or less. 92, that definitely doesn't pass. Then I have to make a dodge check, which is minus 15. So my dodge is 15. 75. Nope. So I am entangled, and entangled gives me minus 20 to my attacks. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's minus 20. I've been entangled before. So we'll go with the minus 20, which will take our attack down to a 70. 80 minus 20 is 60, and then I get plus 10 for it being my turn. So we'll have 70, and we will try to hit it with the Infernal Flame. Yep, we'll hit it with the Infernal Flame. We'll have it do a magical resistance roll again. 67, it fails the magic resistance roll. We'll roll a d6 and a d4 in our hit location. 3 and a 3 is going to ignore armor. 14. Left arm. And the 2 3s are 2 more damage, and that will kill the Vinekin. Alright, so we'll get 40 XP. See, get our 40 XP here for killing the Vinekin. We'll get our 1 temporary toughness plus our recover roll. So 1, so we are actually at 20 toughness, which is 1 above our maximum, because we get a 10 toughness after each encounter as part of our Abyssal Reaver ability. And then we get to roll on the spoils table. 3. That is roll on the mundane items table. 37. We find a candle. We'll jot down the candle here. All right. Then we're gonna try to bust this door down. So we're in the corridor. Our athletics is 10. We're trying to bust the door down. And we got a 4. So we break the door down. We still have to do one tension check. So the tension die is at a what? It's back to a D8. Okay, we're fine. We'll go into the next room. 54. That is the dead end circle room. All right, so since it's a dead end, I will just have it loop around down here, and then we'll make the circle. So this is, wait, 54, that's this one. So we'll have it loop around, and then it'll just be the circle within the circle room. Right, so let's do our room description. $67. Phantom wails fill the air as the spirits of wronged women lament their tragic fate. All right, so this is like the wailing room. Then we need to do another tension check because we have entered a new room. Tension is there. Our light source goes down by 1. So we've used up 9 of our 20 light sources. We got to do a layer check, which is at a D10 now, to see if we're getting closer to the overseer. 10, we are not closer. And then we are going to see if there is an encounter in the room on a 10 or higher. 10, is it 10 or higher? I believe it is. So there is an encounter in the room. Go cheat sheet. Yep, 10 or higher. There's an encounter. So let's roll a d6 and see what's in here. 5, that's table B. We haven't fought anything from table A yet. I don't know if that's good or bad. D20. A 5. Fireborn. So there's a Fireborn in here. Sounds like it's hot. Right. The Fireborn rises as a blazing fire elemental, its form an ever-shifting dance of flames, emitting a searing glow. With smoldering eyes and an unearthly grace, it leaves behind a wake of scorching devastation. Summoned by ancient rituals from the plane of fire, these creatures were commonly used as guardians by the ancient Valorians. Unleashing torrents of fire, it engulfs enemies in an all-consuming flames and summoned firestorms, ensuring nothing but complete devastation. Okay, there's one of them. It's an elemental, 40 awareness, combat's 40, magic resistance is 30. It's healed by fire and vulnerable to water. So we will not be using our infernal flames in this fight. Our Aether goes back up to 10. We do have our suppressed mind, where we can suppress its spells. Okay, so let's roll for initiative. I am looking for a 50, and it's looking for a 40. 83, that's a fail. 47, that's a success for us. We'll go first, so we need 80 because we get plus 20. And we are going to attack it with our Morning Star. So I got a 13 and it got a 41 minus 10 to its combat. So its combat is actually 30. So it fails. I hit. Let's see damage and location. A 20. A natural 20. Is it elemental? That's humanoid. So I hit it in the head, which is a critical. So that's the critical hit, which means I get to double my die. So instead of rolling one die, I'll get to roll one more as we hit it in its weak spot. All right, and then we'll see what the damage is. So the 4 is 1 damage, the 5 is 2, so it takes 3 damage, and it's got 4 health, so it's only got 1 life left. All right, so we get a lucky blow as we run up to the elemental, swing that Morningstar around, and hit it right in the face. All right, now it's turn to attack. It's got a 30. Let's see what it's gonna do. 6. Firestorm, magical. Fireborn summons a firestorm. All creatures in the area must succeed on a dodge check, taking D10 fire damage and receiving the burning condition on a failed check. So I think we are going to do suppress mind and cancel that as a free action. It costs 5 Aether, and it can't cast any spells for 1 round. So I'm going to assume when it says magical that that's a spell effect. Right, then it's back to us. Let me know in the comments if that's not how to do that. We are going to attack with our 80 versus its 30. It got an 89. We got a 22. A 22 is a critical success. So we get to double our damage again. So let's see what the location is. 11. That's right in the chest. No armor. 2d6 from doubling our damage. Right, the 6 and a 5, great roll. So that's going to be, the 5 is 2 damage, the 6 is 2 damage, so it takes 4 damage right to the chest, and the Fireborn is defeated. 40 XP, and we are only getting 40 because we got a darkness, growing dread condition. No, we went insane, and we're having trouble with our memory, so we don't get the usual 50 XP. If anybody is just watching part 3 and wondering why we're doing 40. Okay. Spoils table, let's see what we get. We'll do some backtracking and then that'll wrap up this video. Okay, so 1 is mundane table, I'm pretty sure. 1 is rolling on the mundane table. Yep, mundane item. All right, then D100. 42 on mundane. We found a lore book. Okay, we find a lore book. And I feel like I saw some lore book tables in here. Did we wrap up this adventure by seeing which lore book we got? Let's see, other items and gear, 192. Tension die, potions, personal bow, or overseers. Let's see 195 if it's around there. Okay, lore books. It's a D10 roll. Okay. I'll just read the title of the lore book that we found. So this is a 6. The Midnight Throne. So we found a lore book called The Midnight Throne. Anybody? Let me get rid of the dice tray. You might be able to read that if you want to pause and get a screen cap. All right. And let me put in parentheses over here, the Midnight Throne. All right, so let's see. I will read that later, since that's the title of the book. Ker Nethalas. All right. So she will learn more about the Midnight Throne, and then we will backtrack to the next room, which sucks. So corridors we don't have to do. So we go to this next corridor. We have to do a tension check. And let me just make sure tension die. I think we're still at a D8. Yep, we're still at a D8. So we're going back into this room. I'll just roll on the paper real quick. D8, 6, we're fine. We go into this room. Corridor. These two are both corridors. 2, so the tension die is going to go down to a D6. Just horrible. We go back into this room. Tension die. 5, we're fine. This is a room, so we have to mark off a light source. So we are down to 10 light sources. We're probably going to have to camp pretty soon and make a torch after a few more rooms. Then we'll go back into the well chamber. So we'll roll our tension die entering the well chamber. We're fine. We will mark off another light source. And last but not least, we're going to break down a door. So do we want to go east or back south? I think let's go back south, see what's in this area. So we'll try to break down the door. Athletics is 10. First attempt. 38, that's not a success. Tension die. Tension die goes down to a D4 as we're making a lot of noise. All right, second attempt. We get to add 20 to our skill. So we're at 30 now. We'll try to break down the door. 71, that is not successful. We'll roll the tension, the die. A 3, okay, we shake it off. Third attempt, we're at a 50 or less. 53, we barely miss it. Oh, and we have to roll the tension die. She just can't get this door open. Okay, 3, we're still okay. Now we're at a 70 or less. 6, we bust the door down. All right, so let's see what room is next. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Hold on, I rolled off camera a couple of times. Oh, that's right, I was rolling on the paper. We'll get back to the dice tray real quick. All right, so we bust the door down. We'll generate this room and then we'll wrap up this video. So 7 is a corridor. What is not a room. 7. Okay, so it's like a T-shaped corridor. So let's see, how can we make this so that it's we'll just say, let's see, go down like this, and we'll go over here, up here, like so, like so. All right, and then we'll put a door here. We'll put a door here, a door in the middle here, door in the middle here. And there should be a door in the middle here, but there's not. Maybe the bone pile is blocking the door, so nobody can get through there. And then we will do our corridor description. It's a D20 roll. That's the room we just drew up. Oh, a D20 roll. It's not a D20. 9. An eerie silence fills this corridor, broken only by the faint whispers of long dead spirits. The air is heavy with an otherworldly stillness. Okay, so more whispers. Then we need to do our tension check. 1. So tension die. The growing darkness is catching up to us. It goes back up to a D8. And we are going to roll on the growing darkness chart. See what we are dealing with. Growing Darkness. D100. 67. You blink a few times, snapping out of it. How long have you been staring at nothing? Reduce your light source by D4. So we went into like a trance. Maybe the whispers. Maybe we were listening close to the whispers. Light source by 1. All right, so it's down to 12. We're getting low. If your light source runs out, you are blinded, and that's minus 40 to all your skills. And then let's see, is there an encounter in here? 2, there is not, so there will be an event. So we will go to the event table. 8. There's a trap in this room. Roll on the traps table and follow the usual procedures. All right, so there's a trap. It's a trap. 104. Let's roll a d10, see what we're dealing with. 2. The character steps on a hidden bear trap. They suffer 3d6 piercing damage, and I can try to dodge it. My dodge is only 15. Come on, Emelyn, can you dodge this? Nope. 3d6. And we will compare this to the bear trap. Snap shut on my legs. 2 4s and a 3. So 2 4s on a 3 on a damage chart. 2 4, that's 3 damage. So 3 damage to my toughness. Got hit with the bear trap. Toughness goes from 20 down to 17. Still doing pretty good. Okay. And last thing we're going to do is we'll check these 1, 2, 3, 4 doors. See if they're all locked or not. So 12 or higher, they're closed. It's open. The next door. Open. The next door. Open. The next door. Closed. So this one is closed. So we got plenty of options. All right. That will conclude. Oh, I need to do the layer check. That's the last thing I forgot to do. So right now our layer die is at a D10. So let's roll that and see if we're getting closer to the overseer. 4. Nope. All right. I think that's going to conclude today's playthrough of part 3. The Adventures of Ker Nethalas, trapped in Ker Nethalas. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Have a nice day.